to sleep. There we are. We're live. All right, folks. This is Tom, and I'm screen sharing. I'm trying to present my screen. Michael, can you make me present my screen? I think because you're the host, I suppose.
Yes, I'll take care of that right now. So you want full screen?
Yeah, make it so that I'm presenting my screen. I think if you right-click on me or something like that, you can do that.
Okay.
And these guys are about to start. We had a little delay. But we are calling the DFL 1979 championship. And it is one play animation on. Dennis Crowley already called one playoff game for Dennis today. In 1985 Summer Sprint, he took on Keith's East Rock Redskins. I won't reveal the result. But this is for the 1979 DFL Championship, the Diehard Football League, a mini-season that ran in July only. 9 teams drafting basically for the 1979 playoff clubs and a couple other NFL clubs that year. Played an 8-game season. Dennis went 5-3. Butch went 4-4. They both beat teams with better records in the playoffs. Butch had to win a wild card game also. And now they're playing for the championship. This is the final game. Of course, as we wind up the 1979 DFL, which was a mini league, looking past to John Riggins for Dennis, who won the toss and got the ball. No choice in the older seasons. Guess right is incomplete. And we have the Summer Sprint playoffs going on. And that should wrap up this version of Strat Football. The new game might be out on Tuesday. Dennis has got Jim Zorn, which he's delighted about, as his quarterback. Gary Davis and John Riggins are the primary running backs. Everyone right to Gary Davis is a good everyone wrong card. Blocking back +5 or -1 is a 5-yard gain with Clarence Harmon, the blocking back, 44, more of a receiving specialist, making the reception. 3 wide, 1 halfback on 3rd and 5 for Dennis, which is unusual because he likes to keep the run threat open for it to be containment possibly. But Jim Zorn's got a little bit of must run in the card, not as much as he'd like. Long pass to Isaac Hazens. Defense gets his run. No man to get to 4. Receiver gets wrong, incomplete. Oh, Butch with the dicey running call against the 3 wide on 3rd and 5. And Dennis quick clicking to show his discontent with that result. And it's a 33-yard punt to Buddy Hardeman. It's a long gain out of 12. He could go all the way. Almost a touchdown for Buddy Hardeman on the long gain on the punt return. A negative 25-yard punt return. Butch says, I don't need any advice. Look at the way this game is going. 1st and 10 for Butch at Seattle's 12. 2 minutes in, and Butch didn't even get the kick. He was on defense. Roger Jaworski, quarterback Walter Payton, and Larry Zonka in the backfield. I called the game yesterday for this team. Off tackle left to Zonka. Defense getting past, and it's going to have to get a little more run than he likes to slow down this offense. Dreaded 5, no gain, makes it 2nd and 10. For Zonka, Payton had a big game yesterday. Jaworski's not that bad. His flat pass is better than you think. His long pass right is not too bad. Although long is not as good as you'd like. A number of quarterbacks in this set are like that. Short pass, Walter Payton. Defense gets to run this time. He does have 4-minute zone, so the 9 of the defense is in play. George doesn't have a great short pass squad. Receiver gets wrong. 7 is complete to Payton. 6, 11, 15, 18, 11, 18 for Walter. The Hall of Famer. Fine short pass card for a running back. 1, 4, 8, 13, 17 for Jaworski. Not awful for this error. Linebacker Larry Zonka. Dennis Keys Payton. Offensive right guard +5. Touchdown. Terry Steve, the 12-yard drive. Dennis quick clicking away. He's not happy that he missed a long pass wrong against a 4 with no men and gave up a negative 25-yard punt return. The kick is short, though. 18 yards. Tony Nathan brings it up 24 yards. This is a very modest money league. It was like $15 a head. So these guys are both in the money. Linebacker John Riggins. Snake Eyes gets right to short gain, 18 yards for Riggo, number 44, I believe. +33 gets wrong. Dennis flying through this game. Like he's got somewhere to be. Maybe the wife's on him. Long pass to Clarence Harmon. Double team is incomplete. Would have been incomplete anyway. Butch has got the good pass defense. It looks like Dennis has the excellent. 2nd down and 10. Blocking back one halfback. Gary Davis. Good short gains on the end run especially. Flat pass left to Davis, 2-minute zone, incomplete. Good call by Butch. That was a white die 6, and that was a white die 4. And we do play white die 6. And Butch only has a 6 at left outside, 3rd and 10. Now Dennis stays in the running formation. We know he likes to do that. Since our linebackers are 4, you might see a draw play here, perhaps behind these 6s. So it's 3rd down and 10. There it is. Off tackle left to Gary Davis, defensive end +2 or +9. He gains 9, and now on 4th and 1. Will Dennis try to go for it? At the Wisconsin 31. Yes, his kicker is dreadful, Steve Mickemeyer. That's another reason why he was running it there in 3rd and long. And now it's blocking back one fullback for John Riggins. Blocking back's only a 4. I might rather see someone else off the bench despite Harmon's excellent receiving. Crank up that diesel. That'll be the 1982 set. Riggins didn't have a big average, didn't have a great card that year, but the original set, he was +1 on Keto on almost every roll, it seemed like. And under those circumstances, you would certainly crank up that diesel. Only inside linebacker 4 is here. Maybe a linebacker to Jim Zorn. And run right to Riggins. Run King Zorn. No one there. 8 yards on Riggins on the end run wrong. Boy, 4th and 1 is what is predicting an end run to Jim Zorn. If he just gets run there and he runs it with Zorn, you're probably in good shape with an end run right. On the old-fashioned quarterbacks especially. Nowadays, they're a little more balanced. But 1st and 10 for Dennis, trying to get right back in it midway through the first at the Wisconsin 23. And run left to Riggins. If it gets the pass, 3 yards on Riggins. He's got that +66 on Snake Eyes. And then he's got 9 units of short gain and some other positive yardage. Back in this era, a lot of the fullbacks have pretty good everyone wrong cards. This is kind of neat. Short pass to John Jefferson. Defense gets his run. Jefferson comes by 4. Receivers a long gain. Touchdown, Shuriken. 20-yard touchdown from Jim Zorn to the maxed out John Jefferson. Dennis throwing against the 4 if they're setting it up with the run. That's how you have to do it back in this era. You got to run to pass. The pass rush gets you. The quarterbacks aren't that great. The interceptions are higher. And another short kick by Dennis, but this time the coverage units do a good job on Buddy Hardiman. It's +16, +14, +20. And we have a game reset, 7-7, late first quarter, 6:54 to go. Looks like a right to Peyton. Dennis calls run. He's got 4s on the defensive line on that side. Offensive onside tackle, +4 or +1. It's a 4-yard game behind Joe Bostic, who's only a 4, but he made the block that time. Dennis might only be average against the run, I don't recall, as the computer is urging Dennis to go short yardage. Dennis is good against run. I remember liking Dennis's team. Flat pass left to Bruce Hardy against a 4. Linebacker in zone, +1 and +4. Dennis Winston, the 4 makes the play. Dennis has got the Steelers linebackers, and his strongest linebackers match up well with his weakest linemen, which is good. He's got 4s on the left side of his 4-3, but linebacker 6 is behind them. And the right side is a 6-5 of the line, and that's where the 4 is. So that kind of works out nicely. And we're right to Walter Payton. Even gets the pass, 3rd and 5. The linebacker's a 6, but the defensive end's a 0. But there's going to be a good containment play by Hall of Famer Jack Ham of that Steeler linebacker group. And Tom Blanchard has to punt it. 4th and 2 from his own 37. It's a 39-yard punt, goes down to the 24 for Tony Nathan. He has a touchdown run 2, but calls for a fair catch. 3 is the 27-yard gain. 4 is 14. Look at that outstanding punt coverage for Tom Blanchard. Is that the Saints, maybe? Or the Cardinals? I forget what team he's from. 1st and 10. Lopez Kellen Winslow gets the run call. No man back there. Incomplete on Zorn's card. Zorn's card looks better than the units are. It's 12 units, but he said 7 long gain gets wrong, and you get pretty excited. And the receiver reading, of course. So Dennis challenging deep against this secondary, which has 2 6s. And we're right to John Riggins. Butch guesses pass. Defensive end +2 or +7. 2 yards, 5 and a 5. I'll take a bite when you're ready. 3rd down and 8. I was speaking to my assistant, but I went up in the air. 3 wide, 1 halfback in the shotgun formation. Harmon's covered by a 5. Short pass Charlie Joyner. Defense double teaming elsewhere. Receiver gets right, 12 yards to Joyner. I believe he's another Hall of Famer. So many Hall of Famers in the 79 season. In this setup, we're using all the playoff teams. Every game, I feel like there's 5-6 Hall of Famers running around. Linebacker to Riggins. Defense calls run, nose tackle, no gain. or plus 17, that's Curly Culp. Now, Butch, I don't think is switching from a default 4-3-4-3. Is he? Off tackle left to John Riggins. His old linebackers there. Box might be in play. Blocking back +6 and +4. Clarence Harmon couldn't get the job done that time. He's more of a receiver. And now you've got 3rd and 6. 3 wide, 1 halfback from the shotgun. Unlikely to see a draw. Flat pass in play with a long pass. Sometimes you do that on 3rd and 5 or 6 because they're going to defend the front 8. Defend the box, as it were. Flat pass left to Kellen Winslow. Gets right incomplete. Dennis will punt it. This game is flying by. They got a late start. They're trying to make up for it. Only a 33-yard punt to Buddy Hardiman. Down to his own 25. It's a 9-yard return. And Hardiman's okay. 2, 4, and 5 are good. 2, of course, 52 yards. And the 12 long game. But the rest isn't that good. And this punter is not good, including a block on 12. We'll take a right to Peyton. Defense gets his pass, but there's a linebacker there. And that's a 6. And Peyton gains 2 on the dreaded 5. Peyton was tremendous in yesterday's victory for Wisconsin. Short pass Steve Largent, 2nd and 8. Wisconsin at the 136. Defender X, a short game. Dennis has corner 6s with this excellent LA Rams secondary. Corner 6s, safety 5s. He's got 5 6s on defense when he's got a 4-man line. Hardly any 4s running around in this set. I might have had too strong of a draft pool for you guys to draft from. Long pass to Bruce Hardy, 3rd and 8. And looks like Jaworski's going to go down. It's Harvey Martin, co-MVP of the 77 Super Bowl, with the 8-yard sack. 4th and 16 for Wisconsin at their own 28. It's a 42-yard punt down to Nathan's got a decent return card. But the 7, 8, and 12 don't help you. And it's a fair catch. Yogurt? That's all right. We move to the second quarter, tied at 7. And we're right there, Gary Davis. Butch goes short yardage. Blocking back +1 or -4. Clarence Harmon made that block. He's missed a couple others. It's amazing how sometimes you'll get one guy have his blocking ready come up 3 or 4 times in about a 10-minute period. And that's what's happened here. And Harmon made that one, which was big. It would have been 2nd and 14. 2nd and 9 for the Shuriken. Short pass Charlie Joyner against a run call. Joyner covered by 6. Gets wrong. 11 yards in a first down. 1, 4, 8, 13, 16, 17 units for Zorn. Same as Jaworski for Butch. Dennis approaching midfield. Trying to take control of the game. Short pass John Jefferson being double teamed by Charlie West. And a good double team forces the incompletion. And it might have been a great double team. No, 12 might have been a long game, that's right, but it's not. It's only 17 yards, but still. Excellent double team. 2nd down and 10 for the Shuriken. And look, he's got 6s covering these guys. And even the blocking back's covered by a 5. So John Jefferson is going to get a lot of attention. Long pass, John Jefferson going to be double teamed again. The old throw it right back to the guy that was just successfully double teamed, but Butch has been around the block himself. And notice he's got 6s and a good pass defense and Dennis's other good receivers. Got to run to set up the pass. 3rd and 10. Gary Davis in there, blocking back formation. So a draw is in play. But against 3-4, I think you'll see Dennis take a shot passing it. And instead, it is a draw. Off tackle left to Gary Davis. Gain 7. 4th and 3. You'll probably see Dennis punt it in this rule set. And in a defensive era, even though Bucky Deltz is he's no great guy. I'll put it that way. And Bucky gets a 5 for 43 yards. Down to about the 10. Buddy Hardiman returns to 3 yards. And you see Dennis has got a nice field position advantage now. Going to make it hard for Wisconsin. But the Wisconsin offense is pretty decent. Walter Payton and some deep play threats in Largent and McCullum. Hard to challenge that excellent secondary Dennis if he leaves his safety home. And I don't think you're going to make a living throwing flat passes to Jaworski. Left tackle left to Walter Payton, although he's not bad at it. Offensive onside end +4, -1. Walter loses a yard. And Dennis is tricky. He'll slide the 6 out every now and then. I'd be sure he'll pop the safety up to flood the flat. Usually when you call pass, don't want to give a run call with no men in the long pass zone if you can help it. And we're left to Walter Payton. Defense gets his pass. 1 linebacker there. But it's a short gain to Walter's card. He's got 5, 11, 14, 15, 16 units of short gain or more. And then you've got like a +9 or +7. So it's an excellent end run column. Very, very solid. Both short gains, positive yardage, and some bigger runs. Yogurt. Flat pass Steve Largent against the run call, 1st and 10, trying to pick on that 4. And receiver gets wrong to Mr. Largent is 11 yards and a 1st down. Number 80, another Hall of Famer and a former Oklahoma congressman. Flat pass left to Sam McCullum. He's starting to pick on that 4 now. See if he's rewarded. No, it's a -1 on a 4. This is a very weirdly carded set this year. 2nd and 11. Looking forward to 1982, which will be released shortly. That should be next year's summer sprint. Emmett Payton. Dennis gets his run this time in 2nd and long. Defensive end +1 or +5. It's a 5-yard gain. Harvey Martin is a 5. The white die 6 beat him. Makes it a 3rd and 6. Yogurt. Pro set versus nickel 3-3-5. See if Butch goes for the 3rd and long run. Not very long, but flat pass left to Payton. Covered by a 4. Linebacker 4 in zone. This could be good for Butch with a white die 6 rule in play. Receiver incomplete on Walter. Still, look at that. 8, 9, 10, 4, 2, all 6 yards or more, 9 yards, 8 yards. But it's Tom Blanchard on for the punt. It goes 42 yards down inside the 20 for Tony Nathan, who's had a lot of chances here in the first half. And he returns this one for 5 yards. I always get nervous when I'm constantly punting to a guy with a touchdown and 2. If you get 6 punt returns instead of 1 in 36 chance, it's like a 1 in 6 chance, right? That's math, folks. Midway through the 2nd quarter, John Riggins, Emerald left, offensive onside end, +9 or +4, 9-yard gain. Clarence Harmon makes another block. He's learning as the game develops. 2nd and 1. I'm hoping that everything is fine over here in terms of sharing my screen and presenting, and my mic. Everything seems good. So 2nd and 1, linebacker Delvin Williams gets wrong for 4 yards. Let's see, he'll bring in the backup running back, give him a cheap carry. So you save your carries with your other guys and maybe trick him a little bit. If Riggins was in there, he might be more likely to get run. So 1st and 10 for Dennis at his own 34. This is for the DFL Championship. Mini season, 8-game season. Emerald right to Gary Davis. Defense gets his pass. Linebacker in zone, -5 or +3. Butch has been blitzing a lot. Dennis has not really been countering with flat passes, and he pays the price there as he gets the goosh. As my friend Tim used to say when we were growing up, it's a 5-yard loss. Kim Bocamper applying the goosh to Gary Davis. Yogurt. Long pass, Kellen Winslow gets a run call. Nobody there, coming by 6. Receiver incomplete. Kind of tough when your receiving target only has 6 units of completion. It's covered by a 6. Even though you get long pass, no man, it's really not that great of a chance for a successful play. 3rd and 15 for the Shurikens, their own 29. Blocking back 1 fullback. May try to pop a short gain here on a draw to Riggins. If not, he knows he's helping his field position in what has been largely a defensive game. As a draw to Riggins off tackle, 8 boxes in play on the defense's card. Instead, offensive onside tackle, +5 or +2. 5 yards behind the Donovan block. And out comes Bucky Dilch yet again. We're having a punt fest here in the first half. It's a 43-yarder on a 5. That's a terrible number on a 5. 43 yards for a punter. But Buddy Hardiman signals for the fair catch. And every punt to Buddy is giving him a 1 in 18 chance at a big play. He already hit 1. But, he punts 6 times to a guy 1 in 18. Then you're saying it's a 1 in 3 chance that he gets a long gain. Now, you already got it, but the dice have no memory. Yogurt? Anybody out there? 1st and 10 for Wisconsin, their own 23. 5:42 to go in the first half. These two have probably played so many games against each other over the years. Dennis and Butch, dozens of games in various leagues, I'm sure. Shut the door. Long pass to Sam McCullum. And Jaworski goes down. Do you know my sign? Put it on the door. Tell him I'll be like another hour. Sorry for the interruption, folks. Some company arrived early. 2nd and 16 for Wisconsin at their own. 2nd and 16 for Wisconsin at their own 17. Off tackle right for Walter Payton on the wrong call. There's a linebacker in zone, though. And 4 on Walter's caught a 22-yard gain. Walter was the man yesterday, and he's doing it again today. Dennis is getting a dose of it. Linebacker to Larry Zonka, run call. Payton 7 carries, 52 yards. Zonka gets 1 yard but fumbles, and Dennis recovers the fumble. Zonka's fumble number was only 20.5, but it was 1. And Dennis benefited from some turnovers, I believe, in the game earlier today, if I recall correctly, and he might be about to do the same thing. Flat pass left, Delvin Williams. Defender -1 and +3. It's a 1-yard loss. Larry Gordon with the defensive play. Outside of the one drive, but his defense has done a nice job. Both defenses have. 2nd and 11. Gary Davis has been running a lot in this situation. Maybe this is where you go to John Jefferson. He does. Long pass John Jefferson against a run call. Long in and zone card. 33 yards down to the 8-yard line. And that's what I'm talking about. Dennis has been running. Second long, running. Bang. Throw a bomb. The other guy calls run. 33 yards. And a first down for Seattle at the Wisconsin 8-yard line. 1st and goal. Defense showing blitz. Don Riggins is the running back. Emma right to Rigo. Offensive onside guard +3 and -1. Tom Rafferty couldn't make the block. He's only at 5. White tie 6. 2nd and goal for the 9. Dennis's kicker is pretty terrible, but I think even he can make it from this distance. Walking back with fullback. Short pass Jefferson. Defense gets his pass incomplete. Just missed a touchdown on a 10. So went 5 of 15 for 75 yards. Only takes a couple of big plays in a defensive error to possibly come away with a victory. Shotgun formation. 3rd and goal. Harmon is a blocking back. To watch for a run inside or an end run with Zorn. I don't think you can run a draw inside the 10. But there's a short pass to Clarence Harmon. Nice double team by Butch. It's incomplete. And it would have been incomplete anyway, but still a nice double team. You see Harmon's got good yardage besides the completion. 6, 11, 15, 12, 18 short pass. So Mickemeyer comes off for the field goal, which was only 2, 8, 11, and 12. But he makes it. And the kick is 8 yards. The kick is down to the 8-yard line. And he rolls snake eyes, and it's only 33 yards. So Hardiman saving his energy for the punt returns, apparently. And that's only a 33-yard return on a 2, but that's still the best possible result. And Butch has got excellent field position at zone 41, but Jaworski starts off with an incomplete flat pass, looking for number 34, Walter Payton. 2nd down and 10 for Wisconsin at their own 41, 1:45 to go in the first half. They trail 10-7. Looking past the large is going to be guessed wrong, as Dennis slid the linebacker out, as I said he might, and it's completed Jaworski's caught for 9 yards. As I said, Butch is no newcomer himself. Butch was the FPR XFL champion. For those of you who know that sort of mini league experiment. Maybe he's the king of the mini league or the king of the small league. 3rd and 1 for Wisconsin. Off tackle left to Walter Payton. Defense calls run. Payton's own card is awesome. Guess right for tough yardage, and there it is. Everything's virtually 2 yards or more. Most of it is 3 yards or more. And Payton got the first down there. Wisconsin calls timeout. They're at the Shuriken 48. 1:15 to go. Yogurt. And we're right to Payton. We got a loose ball. 2 yards and a fumble. That was Ron Jaworski fumbling the snap on a 10.6. 3 on the 1 in 1,000 die. But Wisconsin recovered it and fell on it. And now they got 2nd and 13 at their own 49. Off tackle left to Payton. Dennis calls run. Even though there's only 52 seconds left in the half. Shows you the respect he has for Payton's card. And Walter gains 8 yards anyway on the defense this time. Give me Egbert in the water, Nicole. And it's 3rd down and 5 for Wisconsin at the Shuriken 43. Pros hit versus nickel 3-3-5. Everyone left to Walter Payton. Defense calls run, knowing that he's just trying to break containment. Offensive onside end +8 to +3. It's only a 3-yard gain. Setting up 4th and 2 for Butch at the Shuriken 40. Only 37 seconds to go, and now he's going to punt it. This is the one I wanted you to go for, Butch, because you only have 35 seconds to defend. Oh, Butch, you're killing me. But he decides to play it safe and does the coughing corner. And, interesting call. Yesterday, Butch was very aggressive in going for it on 4th and short. Butch would have to have a long discussion, I think, about going for it. Butch says, what makes you think I'm going to listen to you? And Dennis says, I'm going to take a knee, as you can tell what era we're playing in. And we go to halftime, 10-7. Shuriken. Nicole, can you go make 1.5 cups of brown rice, please? And let me know when you're done. And turn the AC down 2 degrees, please. And the door crack open so I can call you. Forgive all of my domestic discussion. Butch says, good half. My team does really suck, though. Butch is not complaining, however, about the 25-yard negative net punt that Dennis experienced. So, but it's 10-7 Shuriken here at the half. Butch is going to get the ball. And there it is, another short kick, 15-yard line, and a 21-yard return by Buddy Hardiman. Sets up a 1st and 10 for Wisconsin at their own 36. As this game flying by. These guys play literally probably twice as fast as I usually play. And we're left to Walter Payton. Defense calls pass. So Timmerman wrong for sweetness. His own card is dangerous here. There it is. 7 short gain of Payton's card. 10 yards only, but still. A 1st down for Wisconsin up at their own 46. Sometimes guys get too cute avoiding the good column because they know the defense wants to key on it. Linebacker Payton. Defense calls run, but no linebackers there. Good blocking on the inside. And that left tackle is only a 4. 2 yards guess right on a 5 for Payton. 2nd 8. He's got 12 carries for 77 yards. Flat pass left, Sam McCullum. I keep saying Steve. Defense double teaming Largent. Linebacker in zone +1 or +4, but Dennis Winston makes another good play. Only a 1-yard gain. So he puts him picking on this linebacker 4, so that's why he thought that end zone might be more open, plus that 4 has to cover Walter Payton. So very tough to bring that guy up. Short pass to Steve Rabel being successfully double teamed. 3rd and 7. Receiver gets right, incomplete. As you look at that awesome, excellent card with a 4-minute zone, that would have been 15 yards in the 1st down. And the punt is blocked. Blanchard's punt is blocked, I think, for the 2nd straight day. And Tony Nathan, who was the punt returner, I guess they were really going for the block there. If Nathan, who was the punter to block that one, straight has to work on these special teams assignments. In the old depth chart. Flat pass right to Kellen Winslow gets wrong. Incomplete on Zorn's card. Both 4 and 12 are incomplete. 2nd down and 10. Short pass to Clarence Harmon. Defense double teaming elsewhere. Defender extra +12. He's covered by a 5 and it's incomplete. Can Bokamper act to the 6? Because Dennis had blocking back halfback, I think, that time in. Earlier it was blocking back fullback, and that's when Harmon was covered by a 5, but it was a wide type 4 regardless. 3rd and 10 for Seattle at the Wisconsin 42. Big play here. This would put Dennis into theoretical field goal range, although with Mickenmeyer, you need to be down about around the 20. Long pass John Jefferson. The blitz is on. Single coverage against the 4. Snake Eyes +31 on Jim's orange card to guess right. Which went for the 4-minute short pass instead of double teaming the weak link. And you are the weakest link. You pay the price. I don't know who I said that to. I guess it was right cornerback. I don't know. And there's another touchdown at Jefferson on the short pass wrong, the long gain. Anytime the guy was a snake eyes and hit something big, long pass right completions are such a killer on 3rd and long. You feel like they just shouldn't happen. But it happened. And Dennis going big and not going home right now as he's up 17-7. And the kick goes down to the 1-yard line. A 20-yard return by Hardiman. Sets up a 1st and 10 for Butch at his own 21. He trails 17-7. He did a good drive here. Flat pass left to Walter. Defense calls wrong. 12-yard completion on Jaworski. Called guess wrong. Jaworski is 7-11 for 43 yards. Judicious use of the passing game against this excellent secondary and with Peyton in the backfield. Flat pass right to Largent. Throwing it to 6 this time, knowing he won't be flooded. That's a 7-yard completion on Jaws' card. 8:42 to go in the third quarter. Zip, zip, zip. This game moving right along. I think we're going to see a run with Zonka because he knows he might keep Peyton. That's my prediction for this play. Linebacker Zonka. Defense calls pass. 4-yard gain. First down for Butch at his own 44. 8:06 to go. And remember, right to Peyton. Defense calls pass. Only a 4 linebacker there. Defensive end +1 or +5. Instead of 4 linebacker, I meant a 4 defensive end. And he made the play, +1 or +5. Peyton 13 carries 78 yards midway through the third quarter. And we're left to Peyton. Defense calls run. That defensive end's a 5. At 7 is no gain. Even Walter is going to get stopped every now and then. So it's 3rd and 9 for Wisconsin at their own 45. 3 wide, 1 halfback shotgun against a nickel 3-3-5. I think we'll see a punt if this doesn't. Well, of course we'll see a punt. Unless he gets 8 yards or something. Looking past to Bruce Hardy. Linebacker there is a 6, so doesn't look very promising. Have to get something on a receiver roll. Picked off 2 to 4, 11 and 12. Incomplete on an 8. Means we've got 4th and 9, and Butch will punt it with Blanchard as his last punt blocked, leading to a touchdown for Dennis. And this time Blanchard punch it down around the 4-yard line. This was not a coffin corner punt. I thought it was. I think I had Butch on the wrong side of the field. My bad. So it bounces into the end zone for a touchback. And the Sure can take over at their own 20, 1st and 10. They lead 17-7, 6:18 to go. Dennis is in the Battle Royale playoffs as well. Long pass, John Jefferson, first down. The pass rush breaks through. It's Curly Culp with the sack over a beleaguered John Fitzgerald, a 0. 0 and a 5, 1 to 88 sack. Second down and 20 down for Dennis. Long pass. John Jefferson gets a run call. Defensive back in zone is only a 4. And a 5 beats the 4, 29 yards and a first down. Boy, Butch calling run on 2nd and 20 against a team with not a lot of great options. I guess wrong with the running game. I know Zorn's good and then run. Maybe that's what he was worried about. But Dennis playing aggressively. He says, I don't care. I'm up by 10. 2nd and 20. I'll throw that bomb. Off tackle left to John Riggins. 1 linebacker in zone. Gets wrong 5 yards. Makes it 2nd and 5. Off tackle left for Riggins. Offensive onside tackle. 7 yards and a first down. Riggins getting it going now. 11 carries, 60 yards. Hey, Nicole, you can wait inside if you want. You hear me? Okay. Blocking back 1 fullback this time. 4:12 to go in the third quarter. Another long pass to Jefferson. Defense calls pass this time, but Zorn has to take off in the face of pressure. Gains 8 yards. Makes it 2nd and 2. As the running game getting going for Seattle. Well, must run is not really a product of the running game, but you know what I mean. Delvin Williams comes in on 2nd and short again. Let's see if he throws a pass and trips up Butch here. Last time Williams was in. There it is, long pitch Jefferson, but he double teamed, and down goes Zorn with the sack. So there's some excellent cat and mouse coaching there. Because Williams was in on 2nd and 1 earlier in the game. Dennis ran the ball. A lot of us do that, bring the backup running back on 2nd and short and run with him. And Dennis brought in Williams again. And then he goes, maybe Butch thinks I'm going to run it. I'll go up top. Butch says, I know you're going to go up top, so I'll double team Jefferson and blitz. And he got the sack from Kid Bowcamper. So you go from 2nd and 1 to 3rd and 13, 2nd and 2 to 3rd and 13. Off tackle draw to Riggins, short game, but only 10 yards. The blitz was on, so containment was lost. But the short game produces a 4th and 3 for Seattle to Wisconsin 42, and Dennis is going to go for it. In a defensive error and needing 3 yards, not 1 or 2 yards. I think I would punt it here. Looking past to Kellen Winslow. Linebackers a 4. Short game gets right in Zorn. 17 yards and a first down. And as we have seen so often since we started doing these broadcasts a couple of years ago, Dennis probably rewarded for his aggressive 4th down play. 1st and 10 for the Shuriken. Off tackle left to Gary Davis against a short yardage defense. Davis gains 3, as Rusty Chambers is only a 4, and the white die was a 5. Very near the end of the third quarter here. Flat pass left to John Riggins. Defense calls run, 7-yard completion, first down to Riggo. And it's 1st and 10 for Dennis at the Wisconsin 15. Dennis looking for a second play of victory of the day. And right to John Riggins, offensive onside end plus offensive onside tackle. +5 or +0. Rayfield Wright makes the block. He's only a 4. Dennis getting some breaks now with the white die. 2nd and 5 for Crowley at Butch's 10-yard line. Off tackle left for John Riggins. 6 gets wrong is a 7 yards and a first down. 1st and goal for Dennis at the 3. Riggins 14 carries, 82 yards. Linebacker Delvin Williams guessed correctly, 2 yards. He's got a high fumble number, not too terrible for this era, 33.5. In the modern game, you'd be like, oh my gosh, 33.5. Linebacker Riggins, a 2nd and goal for the 1. Goes in over the top, or maybe not over the top, but plunges ahead for the touchdown. 24-7 Seattle. And Butch needs to make something happen, and it has to happen fast. The kick goes 2 yards deep into the end zone, and Butch will take a touchback. So what you got to do here is, you got to score and get a stop, and then see what happens. Short pass, Steve Rabel covered by 0, 4-minute zone. Incomplete. Now you're trying to pass against these excellent team defensive cards. It's a tough sledding right now. Flat pass left to Walter Payton. 3 gets right is incomplete. That's a short gain in the modern game. Every quarterback pretty much has that short gain on 3 right and wrong. Long pass to Payton, 3rd and 10. As Butch starts quick clicking, Payton's covered by 4. Must run is a 9-yard pickup for Jaworski, just enough to make Butch go for it on 4th and 1 with 12:36 to go. He has to convert this, otherwise you feel like the game is pretty much over, but he has to go for it here. He's trailing by 17 with 12:36 to go. Since that early miscue, it's been all Dennis. Off tackle left to Payton. He's run keyed. 4th and 1. Offensive onside end, +1 and -3. Payton loses 3 yards on the key. Great job by Dennis. And he would have missed it even the linebacker, but still a great job. And then Dennis with a flat pass, pitch is picked up 2 to 4. That could have changed the complexion of the game. This is a stat line from the late 70s. Zone 10 of 24, 170. 10 of 24, 170, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. You wouldn't see a stat like that in a modern track game most of the time. Dennis is a terrible kicker, but he can get a first down or at least run some clock. Short pitch, John Jefferson gets wrong, 13 yards and a first down. He's at the Wisconsin 13. Now he's thinking touchdown, but even a field goal is huge. Butch is in big trouble here. Dennis closing in on yet another championship. And we're right to Jim Zorn. Again, short yardage. Zorn loses 3. Yeah, you see what I'm saying? -3, -5, -2, -6, -5. So don't need to key a guy like that when he's that bad. Guess right. Just guess run if you think he's going to run it with him. 2nd and 13. Short pass John Jefferson gets wrong is incomplete. 3rd and 13. Mickemeyer is a pretty bad kicker. I'm not sure what he is from this distance. He was 2 to 8, 11, and 12, I believe, from inside the 12-yard line. Dennis is like a numerologist. He notices how many times the 11 comes up. I don't notice. I notice if a blocking thing comes up a lot or something like that. That was a short pass to John Jefferson, incomplete on the double team. And Mickemeyer comes out for the field goal attempt. He is 2 to 8 from this distance. It's not been good. 27-7. Shuriken kick goes down to the 6-yard line. It's returned 16 yards out to the 22. I tell you, Joe Golden had a great team in this setup this year. And Dennis defeated him to get here, so it's really a hard-won championship if he does hold on. Butch needs 3 touchdowns in 8 minutes and 42 seconds. against a team with an excellent pass defense and one of the best coaches around. So good luck. Short pass to Walter Payton. 4 men in zone. Incomplete. And you see the game slipping away now from Butch. Just not enough time, not enough options. Everyone right to Payton from a 3-wide formation to the white dies in play. The linebacker behind is 6. He hits the white die, loses 2 yards. 4th and 8. He's going to punt it rather than add insult to injury, I suppose. Maybe he's hoping for a fumble. Nathan gets it at his own 34 and goes nowhere. But this one's pretty academic now. 7.5 minutes to go. 27-7 Shuriken. Off tackle left from Rigo. This game kicked off 40 minutes ago. A lot of games get played in that window, I'd say, between an hour 5 and an hour 15. So when you get ahead of that, usually it's a very, very quickly played game. I used to play super quickly. Now I just take my time more and think more. I'm talking even though I have my disability, I used to play online much more quickly. So, but I've tried to work on that a little bit in the last couple months. Off tackle left to John Riggins. It's a 5-yard gain, 4th and 6. Bucky Dilts comes on for the umpteenth time. And they're just clicking through the end here. I mean, Butch is still trying, of course. Got to try. But it's looking extremely unlikely. Low pass to Steve Largent. Covered by 6. Defense gets his pass. Safety's a 5. Receiver gets right. 55-yard completion to Mr. Largent. Bittersweet for Dennis Largent, one of his favorite players, I'm sure. Dennis, a renowned Seahawk fan from his youth. And here, well, from not going to cost him the game, so he departed his mind giving up a 55-yarder to Mr. Largent. Short pass to Steve Rabel. Covered by 0, 16-yard completion for Jaws. As Butch tries to stand, can you get a touchdown, an onside kick? That's what you got to do here. Off tackle left for Payton. Defense gets the pass. Payton gains 8. Down to the Shuriken 5. 18 carries, 85 yards for sweetness. 3:36 to go. Off tackle left to Payton again. 2-yard gain. Sets up 1st and goal from the 3. I might be calling my 3rd game of the day shortly because my uncle just said he's not coming over later. I have other company coming over later. But there's, I think, a 6 o'clock game. Summer Sprint playoffs. Off tackle left to Payton. Linebacker in zone, -2 or +2. Dennis Winston couldn't make the play. He's only a 4. So Butch gets down to the 1. He calls timeout. 2nd and goal from the 1. I see Buddy Hardman here. Off tackle left to Zonka. He's avoiding the 6 linebackers. Zonka plunges in for the 1. His 2nd touchdown of the day, but he also had a fumble. Neil O'Donoghue is a terrible kicker, but he makes the extra point. 2-9-12. Here's the onside kick for Butch, but recovered by Seattle. No, what's the guy's name? Brandon Bostic for the Packers, who launched Seattle into their 2nd Super Bowl. Otherwise, they would have only made the 1. So Dennis is throwing passes here still. Butch only has 1 timeout. These guys are yelling at me for not taking a knee. He's up by 13 points. Boy. Maybe now the victory formation will come into play. Or Dennis wanted to throw. Butch says nice about the pass. And Dennis Crowley, yet another championship. He was in the money. And this one was for the money. I don't remember the breakdown. It's not terribly lucrative, but could certainly buy a few pizzas around the house for the kids at least, that's for sure. So there it is, 27-14 Shuriken with the victory over Butch's Wisconsin Badgers. Dennis's defense did a great job against Butch's offense. Dennis called the bombs at the right time. Also had some good luck, of course. And there you have it. It's an excellent pass defense winning. The 1979 DFL League, a mini league that I started this year. So we'd have some games to play. Really, so I would have some games to play. Because I was rebuilding with both of my spring teams. So there's no postseason for me in SSFA. There was no postseason for me in Southside. Believe me, I was 4-12, I think, with each team. But like I said, rebuilding. So everyone else getting ready for the playoffs, I had no games to play. So I said I better start, and I already played pretty much all of my 85 summer sprint games. That team went 13-3. And I said, man, someone's chiming up, tripping in.
Hey, what's up?
Dennis Crowley live from the Velodrome in Rancho Cucamonga, California, right, Dennis?
We are here and having fun. It was a good game.
Congratulations, Dennis. It was very one-sided.
For trying to come from behind with that team. It was more of a play from ahead type of team.
Yes. It was interesting because my team was more of a we're not good enough to get ahead type of team.
Well, you had some bad luck, I think. And I mean bad luck not necessarily in the games, but in the units that were available when your pick came up. So
that sounds like an excuse, Dennis. That sounds like some more. That sounds like some more 7 and 9 bullshit, or in this case 3 and 5. But
yeah, so
congratulations.
I'm glad that you started it. It was fun. It was great. I mean, getting Jim Zorn, who is like my hero, Seahawk 10, after all.
That's right.
Getting him to win a championship is always fun. I think this is
nice.
the second time this has happened for me.
Now the key question is, does this mean that Butch is not the king of the small league?
No, apparently not. But he's right up there.
You know, I was watching some documentaries on Roman history. Maybe so maybe you and he are the co-counsels of the strong league. They don't have 2 councils at times. So, but and
Butch, what Tom was referring to is, you won his FPR XFL league way back when.
Yes, so, the league that had more letters in the title than people who knew about it.
Yeah, exactly.
But congratulations, Dennis. You had the real early adversity with the negative 25-yard punt. Bucky Dill's punting and the long game return on 12. I noticed you were clicking very quickly for a moment after that. You seemed a little annoyed. Okay. And but then it was just all Crowley all the time, all Shuriken all the time. You hit the one bomb long pass right, which was helpful. But you had him off balance a lot. You were running a lot. You got a couple of bombs just wrong, which you had set up with the run, which I was talking about. This era, this rule set, people need to really run instead of to pass. It is that style of old-fashioned football, and you pulled it off well. Walter Payton had his moments, had his. I'm sure you got a little nervous there at times. It was 10-7 or even 17-7, and Payton getting going, hitting the plus 22.
Right.
But ultimately, you made enough good calls in the right spots, and he had the punt, and the block punt was big, I think, in really helping you seal the game and make it really, really difficult for him to come back. I think that might have been on the drive where you went up 24-7. But yeah, congratulations. I told you in the beginning, I thought you had a real good team, because you had the good defense, good against the run, excellent against the pass. And then your QB-RB combo was pretty decent with Zorn and Riggins. Yeah. And, you had the run blocking, and then you still had, some big play capability in the passing game, some competence in the passing game. Clarence Harmon was helpful as a blocking back. And then I felt like you'd be able to do enough in offense in most games to win. And that's what happened.
Yeah, Butch did a good job today shutting down Clarence Harmon. And I also have Gary Davis, that Miami
Yes.
Sport carry back, which
Yes.
forces people to call run more, and then you can kind of hit Jim Zorn's 7 guessed wrong, which
Yes, because I
is
think
always-
because I think one of your successful bombs was you had been running it second and long with Gary Davis, and you
Right.
had like a 2nd and 11 with Gary Davis, and coach called run, expecting another one of those end runs, and he threw a long pass to JJ,
Yep.
to Jefferson. That was complete for a big gain. I think that was the 7 clean long gain on Zorn's card.
Correct. Yeah. And he
But,
got the yards
yes.
on it, so.
But yeah, that must be a lot of fun for you to win a title with Zorn. You said the second time. Can you remember the other time you won a title with Zorn? That had to be in like a snarl league or something?
No, it was you remember Vic, right? Vic Artebay?
Absolutely, of course.
He ran a like a loser league. Like you had to pick a
Yes.
team. He like gave, I don't know, like about 12 teams that had like 6 and 10 records. And one of those teams was the 1981 Seattle Seahawks.
So
I
obviously,
picked them.
as soon as you saw that was your club to take, of course.
Absolutely, yeah. So that I took them and I won that league. I think it was like a 10-team league, where it's another short league like this. But it was a lot of fun, and that was the other league that Jim Zorn was on the championship, celebrating a championship on the field. So
You know what's good, Dennis, is I think that opening day for this league was, I think, Saturday, July 3rd. Was July 4th a Sunday this year? Yes, it was. So I think opening day was Saturday, July. That was the day of Lawrence, when he played all those games in one day. So that's not bad.
Beat me that one.
That's right. So that's not bad. Is that the league started on the first day of games was July 3rd. The Super Bowl played August 6th. That's pretty good.
Yeah, it was really fun.
And I think the draft was conducted from the Monday prior to that, so that's when it started, and it wrapped up like that Thursday night. So let's see, if I count backwards, July 2nd, July 1st. So we started the draft June 28th, and we drafted 9 teams and had our championship by August 6th. So it definitely was a short. That is a short. It's about 5 weeks in a day, or 5 weeks period maybe. Definitely a short league. So it worked out well. Yeah,
and you will be happy to know that I am 80% done with a website commemorating your short league. So you will have a website that has the FPR XFL championship and the CFL championship. So and anytime you want to do a short project, we'll just add that to the list of short leagues that you have up there.
All right, very, very, very nice. Although now that I've been pressed into, now that my executive responsibilities are in such great demand, front office for the Sumi for 28 Seahawks, is it spring fever where I'm expected to participate at SSFDL perhaps. We'll have to see when I have time to throw one of these together. The key, Dennis, is that I have to have bad teams in my keeper leagues that aren't going anywhere. So I say, and some extra time on my hands. So
yeah, you might have a tough time with that next year. Both your SSFA team and I think your Sonsman team are going to be in pretty good shape for a playoff run.
The SSFA team will be a nice club. They should win 10 or 11 games. They'll be in the playoffs. Sonsman team could be real good. Now they've got Big Ben, so I'm more likely to push for the year with them because his window is shorter. And also that's a team that I took over, ran them one off season, and won the Super Bowl the second season. But I don't have as much invested in them as I do in the teams I've had for a longer period of time that I've had from scratch. So that team, I've only had the team 3 years. So they came with a decent personnel when I inherited them. So they have not had a full rebuild cycle. So I don't feel as connected to them. So I don't mind going for the year as much with them. But yeah, they'll be in the mix, and hopefully they can go 12-4 or something. We will need some help on that team, but I like the way they're shaping up right now. But Samsa, that's a long way away. Hard to talk about. That's a long way away.
I know. We're a couple days away, hopefully, from the 2017 version of the game. The one thing I will say about the 2016 version is that I won a championship with Dave Craig with the 88 Seahawks in my retro league, with Jim Zorn in this league, and with Russell Wilson in a couple leagues. So all my favorite Seahawk quarterbacks got championships in this version. We'll see what the next version holds.
Where's Cliff Stout? Didn't he play?
Cliff Stout is the Charger. You're talking about if you want to back up.
Don't give me Dan McGuire.
No, if you want a former Charger quarterback that was also a Seahawks quarterback, I think we had somebody like, gosh, who was it?
Not Ed Luther.
Well, we had Charlie Whitehurst.
Okay, sure.
But before that, there was a backup quarterback.
Are you sure Cliff Stout? It's Cliff Stout. Cliff Stout never played for the Seahawks. Are you sure?
Positive.
You would know if
Cliff
anyone
Stout
would know.
never played for the Seahawks. So there was a quarterback in the '90s that used to play for the Chargers and that started some games for the Seahawks. Let me see if I can find out who that was.
Quarterback for the Chargers.
Fascinating.
This is. Everyone wants to know the answer to this. So who would be quarterback for the Chargers post Dan Fouts now? Right?
Oh yeah, this is the '90s.
I know, but I'm saying if it's the '90s and he was a former Charger, then I can look for a Charger quarterback post Dan Fouts.
His first name was John.
John.
Yeah, and his last name reminds you of cold weather.
Right. Let's see. John Frost, John Freeze.
John Freeze. You got him. John Freeze.
Well, only because I was thinking of cold weather, not because I know John Freeze.
Here, I'm going to share my screen so you can see. You can see the ex-Chargers backup that started for the Seahawks.
Freeze. Yes, Freeze with a Z. Yes. Okay.
That's the. There was no Cliff Stout. Let me see who Stout. I think Stout played for.
Stout started with the Steelers. I think he started with the Steelers.
Steelers and Chargers, I think. Yeah. Oh no, Pittsburgh, St. Louis, and Phoenix and Miami. So no Seahawks and no Chargers. I was off on that.
Almost. I was very close, Dennis. A cardinal is like is also a bird. So you know.
Yeah, there you go. Birds of a feather.
I'm looking forward. Well, okay. What are you going to say, Dennis?
I was just going to say thanks again for calling these games. I know this was like an extra. You weren't planning on doing this because you had company this afternoon, but I appreciate you sneaking it in.
Well, the earlier game got finished so quickly, and I was able to do what I needed to do, and got back on the computer, and it was 4:05. And thanks to Michael Reeves not having the 1979 code, I was able to call the game. So, and Michael is also, I think, moving soon, so he's pretty busy. So it probably worked out pretty well for everybody. Now, the other game, there is a 1985 Summer Sprint game going on at 7 p.m. Eastern.
And at 8 p.m. There's one at 7 and one at 8.
Yes, there's two, but unfortunately, I am having company at 8, and so I don't know if I should try to. How fast did Jim and Ron play? Ron played pretty slowly, actually.
I think that's a 90.
What about you?
That's a 90-minute game.
Yeah, I think I probably can't call that one.
Yeah, Jody said Gail Gilbert. It's another one. You're right about that. Chargers and Seahawks seem to share backup quarterbacks quite a bit.
And I don't think it's worked. I don't think it's worked out for either one of them.
Yeah. So Michael Reeves says he can call the 7 p.m. Eastern time game between Jim and Ron, and I'll do my best to call the one at 5. Both my games today were pretty quick. Maybe I can be out there watching the kids swim while they play.
That's right. Make sure you keep a close eye on the kids, though.
My kids are great swimmers. I taught them to swim when they were 4 years old. So.
Very nice. All right, Dennis, congratulations. I'll let you get back to some domestic duties and the title for House Crowley. And
thank you very much.
As I get ready for Game of Thrones, you finally did watch last week's episode, correct?
Yes. Great episode. I'm looking forward to this week's.
Indeed. All right, everyone. I hope you enjoy the game. I'll send out the link now. Thanks for participating in the DFL. I got to get money to you and Butch. And new stuff around the corner. Sabine for 28 draft might be starting this Thursday. Hey, make sure you give me those files, Dennis. Yep. What we're working on on the franchise. And
just a couple more games left. We each have at least one more game left in this version.
Yeah, that's right. We're ready to put this version in bed. We each have at least one more game left.
I would love to get the semifinals done on Monday, and then the Super Bowl on Tuesday before the game's released. But I don't think that's really realistic. We'll see what happens.
It might be. Well, You never know. You never know.
Yeah, depends on the other coaches.
It depends on the other coaches and their availability. I'll tell you what. If Dan and Joe are playing each other, so they can't both advance because they schedule pretty quickly. But we'll see. Nothing worse than
that. You probably want Jim to win because he's available, and Ron I don't think is available till later in the week after today. We want Jim to win, and the other one
doesn't matter.
Both those guys are available, so either one works for scheduling.
I don't want to face Jim though. I don't want to face that defense over there.
Oof, it's brutal stuff.
All right, Dennis. Talk to you later. Great job. Congratulations.
Thank you, sir. Talk to you soon.
All right, everybody. We're going to sign off because it's a busy day for everyone. Hope you enjoyed the game, and we'll be back with more strat stuff soon. There might be some. You might have the summer sprint games in a little while here. Tonight's games. Hopefully, Dennis can call one. Michael Reeves apparently is saying he can call the other one, which is great. So I think Michael's going to call the game between Jim Riley and Ron Martin with the great Jim Riley defense, and Ron's a great coach. And then Dennis is hopefully going to call the game between Dan Morin and Joe Golden, who only joined our online community a couple of years ago and have established themselves as top-notch coaches. And then maybe the semifinals, 85 summer sprint. Very good league, very competitive, a lot of really good coaches, good playoffs going on. I mean, anytime you have the semifinals of these good leagues with the good coaches, it's pretty good stuff. So we'll see what happens there. And then we're probably no shows for a while after that until you get the Autumn Wind Draft show, which will be after the first half of the Autumn Wind Draft on Saturday, September 2nd. So we'll see. And sometimes I sneak a show in there or something, but I'm trying not to reveal too many secrets before the draft. So I need to draft these rookies for myself. So see what happens. All right, guys. This is Tom signing off. Take care. Bye-bye.